Xavi realized that he is part of the problem of the situation of Barca right now. The team dynamic is very negative. The team is not improving. The mentality is not getting better. The style of play is not getting better. And Barca, I think they won't win La Liga. They certainly won't win Copa del Rey with the way Bilbao and Madrid are playing. And they certainly won't win the Champions League because Real Madrid and Man City and Bayern Munich are still there. So it's a reset time. Time, but it's a hard choice to replace Xavi. I don't want to be in Laporta's shoes because I see every Barca fan that says Jurgen Klopp is coming to Barca right now. That is a dream. That is a dream right now. And if they convince Jurgen Klopp, it's because of the weather, not because of the club situation right now. It's to have a good life change, a routine change, and have fun with football. But that would be immense. But I don't think it will happen. I don't think it will.
No. But I think there are good. I think there are good potential replacements for Xavi. And here's the issue. Here's the issue. Well, I do, and here because with Xavi stepping down, maybe there is a realization now that Barcelona is more a brand than a well-run club at this moment. Okay? And they are paying for past mistakes. And I get it that everybody has this well-intentioned effect to get back to it. And that's why to get back to, being that legendary club that was, that was Messi, that was Suarez, that was Xavi, that was, all of them, Busquets. We could go on and on and on, right? But that's not coming back anytime soon.
Exactly.
Okay? The realization has to happen there. And that's why when I look at things, Xavi, I mean, there are a number of head coaches that would have been sacked well before Xavi if we are applying whatever Xavi's reason for leaving is right now. Just because they're 10 points behind in La Liga, I don't think he was given enough credit for the fact that he won La Liga last season.
True.
He won La Liga last season. He won it in dominant fashion. There was always going to be a regression to the mean because this is not the finished product. And that's why, to be honest, Alex, I'm pissed at Xavi. I don't think he should leave. I honestly do not believe Xavi should leave. Now, with that said, I do believe there are maybe better prepared managers to take it forward. I think in this instance, Xavi is maybe even hindered by the fact that he was so damn world-class at playing, right? And he's one of those guys that could be on the field and he'd figure out a game before anyone else. And that's what made him so great and so good and consistent at what he did. Well, we know that doesn't always translate to being a manager, but on top of that, he then also has to thread the needle of being one of the world's most iconic brands, coming off of one of the hottest periods of success, right? And he has to, win La Liga again? I don't get what the intent was. Now, if you're saying that it's culture, if you're saying he's lost the room, then I could sort of understand that, but I feel like it's a cop-out. I feel like he just puts them into another quandary because they don't have necessarily the money to go out and pay Jurgen Klopp, even if they want to bring him in the door. They're more so likely, and I do believe it, and I'll throw him in there. I mean, you should bring back a guy like Francisco Garcia Pimienta, who's the manager of Las Palmas. Las Palmas, and I stole this from an Athletic, and I definitely should subscribe, $1.99 a month for Athletic. But I walked through what he has done with Las Palmas. He has brought essentially the Barca style to play there in some respects, and he has relied on young players, and he has taken the second smallest wage bill in La Liga, and he has them in 9th place right now. He took Real Madrid toe-to-toe the other day. He did. And Real Madrid was looking not that great. He's a guy, he has 20-plus years at Barcelona previous to that as a player and as a La Masia manager.
I think it's an interesting choice, and we can mention the managers that can replace Xavi, but I want to mention on the situation right now, but Xavi is not the biggest problem at Barca. The biggest problem in my eyes is that there's no CDM. There's no CDM to control such a fragile defense at the back. This season in La Liga, they've suffered 29 goals. And last season, they had only 21 or 22 goals suffered. Ronald Araújo,
Yeah.
Christensen, Conde are all looking much worse because there's no Ter Stegen and there's no Gavi and there's no CDM. The no Gavi is massive for a Xavi style of play in a 4-3-3 with a high tempo, vertical tempo that needs a player like Gavi right there. It's not Pedri, it's Gavi that's making the biggest difference in my eyes at Xavi, with Xavi.
But-
Yes.
Yeah, but and you're right. And just to put all the data on the table, right? It was the second time in a week that Xavi and Barcelona had conceded 4 goals plus. And that is the first time in 70 years in Barcelona history that has ever happened. 70 years. Okay, so I know I'm sitting here. I don't think it's all Xavi's fault, but I understand him maybe taking account for it and saying, but Xavi didn't keep Inaki Peña from making a mistake.
No,
right?
it's true.
And so on and so forth. But they've conceded 9 goals. You're right. 16 goals they've conceded in the last 5 games. And as you mentioned, 29 goals in 21 games when they conceded just 20 all last season.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of bad stuff here. I agree.
But it's the situation too
pushing
that Xavi was
reset.
started with it. Xavi was expected to do a lot just when he arrives with a Laporta presidency that was expecting a La Liga title. And Xavi delivered the La Liga title that everybody was hoping to have with Laporta in short period of time. 75 wins, 21 draws, 26 losses, Xavi. That's his record at Barca, and he's a legend because he's won La Liga as a player and as a manager too, with the style of play that he has. And Xavi invested big time in La Masia. He's gonna leave at the end of the season, but his legacy will live on. His biggest star being Gavi of La Masia that he trusted a lot. Alejandro Balde, I believe, big time, and he will show why Xavi trusted him. Pau Cubarsí, Lamine Yamal, Hector Fort, late stages. Remember all these names. Fermin Lopez, all had a chance because of Xavi. So your legacy will live on.
And they all wound up injured because they had to be ridden hard, right? In that set, like they literally had to be put on the field because they didn't have the money to bring in anybody else, right? They do bring in Vitor Roca, and I disagree with what Xavi has been doing with Vitor Roca, but I just don't like. I think that adds to the impressive nature of what he was doing, Xavi, with what he had at his disposal. Right? I agree. He unlocked the academy once again. And hopefully the next person that comes in will continue to rely on them. But maybe, Alex, not rely on them too much. Because you just mentioned Pedri, Gavi, and Alejandro Balde. Well, Alejandro Balde is going to be out for a very long time. Not very long, but a long time. Okay? And we obviously know where Gavi is. He's now going to miss Euro 2024 because of this. And we know how hard it's been for Pedri to get all the way back to full fitness. But we also know that if anyone's building a team these days, the kid's only 21 and he's one of your first picks to build the dang team. But what he was able to do with the youth coming through, right? And just automatically playing up to La Liga level and beyond, right? And then go on to be mainstays in the national team. I think there's more work to be done here. And maybe Xavi doesn't feel like he's that guy. But he, in this instance, should probably be part of the panel to help pick the next guy.
I agree.
Because it needs to be right. And unfortunately, Alex, it doesn't change the inner workings here. Barcelona ain't out of the woods when it comes to this financial craziness. That's why he has literally no mobility to bring in anybody for the most part.
It's
right.
the salary situation right now at Barca. The hierarchy, we have Frankie de Jong earning more than 30 million because of COVID-19 deal that he did, that he accepted to get less in COVID-19 time, to get now big time money. But you have Frankie de Jong earning more than 30 million. You have Lewandowski earning more than 20 million. You have a player like Rafinha, a player like Ferran Torres, a player like Gundogan, all earning more than 10 million a year. You have high expectations with all these players. World-class money is coming in to their accounts, so world-class performances must come into for Barca fans that are still in the Champions League. And that are going to be behind Girona in the title race? That cannot be the case. There's too much history in this Barca team to finish behind Girona, behind Atletico, and to be finishing so consistently bad and behind Real Madrid, even though they won La Liga last season. It's been it's been a bad time for Barca fans lately because Real Madrid is doing everything they have to do efficiently, the right choice as a manager, and you don't see the drama that you consistently see in Barca news. It's so sad. You feel almost like it's teenagers just tweeting Xavi slept 2 hours. Why do you know that Xavi slept 2 hours? I've never seen a tweet like that about Ancelotti. You need to focus on what matters. And what matters is the salary structure to be fixed. And Man United have realized that with Omar Berrada coming in. Barca needs to come in with Deku coming with big-time maths. Big-time maths by Deku, sporting director. That's what needs to happen. Aye, man, it puts me crazy.
Yeah. No, it is. It's just back in the soup, man. Back into it for Barcelona fans. I think for a long period, for 80% of Xavi's reign here, right? There was a feeling that this team was moving forward, that was getting incrementally better. But the largest signings that they've made are guys that aren't at the end of their days, but they are guys that in the past would not have been the signings Barcelona would make. And that's Gundogan. It's 34-year-old Lewandowski. They would have gotten him at 27, not at 34. Right?
Fair enough. They did Griezmann.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they couldn't fit him into the squad. They couldn't make him do what they wanted. But hindsight's 2020. But I just feel like there are so many managers out there. I mean, Jurgen Klopp included. Maybe this isn't a perfect parallel, but like last season was horrendous. And I did hear, I've heard through the grapevine, not through the grapevine, literally through Twitter, that, it was his wife that kept him from not stepping down for Liverpool last season. Well, is Xavi married? Yeah, he's married, right? Or he has a partner. She should keep him in it. This just puts him in the soup again to have to make another decision. And if there's one thing over the last few years, right? And I know we shower Laporta with praise from time to time. But they have not made very clearly. They've made more bad decisions than good decisions.
Who would you replace Xavi with right now?
And that is a wonderful question because it is accepting where you are, right? There is going to be like hiring somebody that is such a big name, right? Like going and plucking Mikel Arteta from Arsenal.
Impossible.
I feel like it's a flippin' pipe dream. Exactly. It's not happening. So get it out of your mind. Building somebody foundational.
But
you
Klopp
might be able to get but Klopp, you can't pay Klopp that much.
Well,
it's not impossible. Don't say impossible, but it's just another financial lever you're going to have to pull in order to get the guy in.
No, I think
unless he's going to work for peanuts.
I think Klopp would understand the situation of the project of Barcelona. I think Klopp, if he were to accept the challenge of Barcelona, it would be a challenge because he wanted to make history in the world of football. Because if Barca's going world-class consistently in 3-4 seasons, Barca is a Champions League contender always because they will dominate La Liga with Real Madrid.
If he was tired at Liverpool, he is going to be, catatonic.
It's different
in Barcelona.
The media
it is.
And the media in England, you are a spotlight in England and you're judged for everything. If you pick your nose in public in England, you're a headline. In Barca, that Xavi, would not be the case.
Hold on. I mean, Xavi's saying the same thing about the politicking and the constant barrage of negativity at Barcelona too. So I just don't think Klopp's, if he's actually stepping down for being tired, I don't think he's going to throw himself in his hat in the ring into don't know, a whole lot of gymnastics that has to happen to get these guys back on the ropes. So I think it should be more, and I doubt that this will be the hiring, but I think that it should be more foundational. And that's why I think bringing in the Las Palmas boss, or bringing in a guy like, if you can pull him away, Michel from Girona, or Thiago Motta at
Bologna.
At Bologna.
Yes, interesting choices. It's hard to replace Xavi at Barcelona. Michel, Thiago Motta, Mourinho. No, Mourinho won't happen because he doesn't play in the 4-3-3 style of play. But I think
No,
yes. Say Bretson.
but I'm just saying. But here's the thing: you and I think, are talking about realistic people, right? But what I feel like most people that follow Barcelona are going to ask for, they're going to ask for Julian Nagelsmann.
No.
They're going to ask for Jurgen Klopp. They're going to ask for
Hansi Flick.
yeah, they're going to ask for Mikel
Flick to
Arteta.
Barca. Can it happen?
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, it probably could happen. German in charge of Barcelona. Do we see this being a good thing? I don't know. I don't know, Alex. I really think it should be one more foundational with the acceptance of where you are as a club currently, where you're fighting internal strife, and having to thread the needle of just this massive brand.
Well, one thing's for sure. Rafa Marquez is not the first choice to be the Barca coach, nor will he be the Barca coach next season. I think Michel from Girona is a bold choice, but could happen. Thiago Motta from Bologna is a very bold choice, but could happen. It's a dreamlike scenario to get Jurgen Klopp. A dream, but you never know. Let's see if they could convince the sporting project that is attractable. And a home run would be the Zerbi too. I think the Zerbi with La Masia, with this Brighton style of like youngsters always present and playing a good style of play, the Zerbi would be an interesting choice too for Barcelona.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all rumors right now. And I saw Hansi Flick was considered before Xavi. So let's see if they reconsider
that's interesting.
Hansi Flick to be their manager. But